Let me make something perfectly clear to you. I do not need a man. I can finance myself, I can fuck myself, and I can feed myself. So when I want a man, it's not to provide those three things.
Fine gentlemen across the world, welcome back to another episode in which we'll be discussing dating in your 40s. So, a lot of lovely ladies out there looking for Prince Charming. They didn't have luck. The universe didn't give them what they deserve, and they're out here sharing their thoughts. So let's start with this one right here.
Can we talk about how no one is talking about how confused they are? Everybody in this app is talking about how they desperately want kids, and other people are saying that they've decided they don't want kids and they want to be child-free. What about everybody in between who has no idea what the fuck they want? Because that's me. I don't know if I want children or if society is just telling me that I should want children. Some days I think I should have kids, you know, like I'll regret it if I don't have them. And then other days I think like I love my life. I don't want to throw kids into the mix. I'm not maternal at all. And then of course there's the whole discussion that people will tell you at baby showers, when you have your own, you'll change your mind, you'll want one. It's your purpose in life. What about all the people that ask me to hold their baby, thinking that all of a sudden, as soon as I hold their baby, I'm going to magically want one? I'm so confused. Please raise your hand if you're like me and you have no idea what the hell you want.
So guys, imagine, right, being close to your 40s and not knowing what you want out of life. That's pretty confusing to me. I mean, you can see the situation in which women are nowadays. They are close to 40, some above 40, and they still don't know what they want out of life. Okay, this woman doesn't even know if she wants kids or if it's society telling her. Like, you know, like she's some sort of puppet, you know, that society controls or other people control. Don't you have autonomy, you know? You're so liberated, empowered by womanism. Don't you know what you want? And then again, she goes to say that, I don't want kids because it's such a burden to have to care for someone else. I like my independence and stuff. Well, madam, that's probably what's keeping you single, and that's probably what's gonna make you not have children at all. So I hope that you make your mind clear about not wanting kids, because you're not going to have them. And that's a good thing for society. But guys, we're gonna encounter a lot of loose women who don't know what they want, who are confused, who don't understand anything about life. And I've saved for last a really good TikTok about a woman who actually knows what she wants, and she just gets shamed by everyone. So stick along for that.
Let's talk about dating in your 40s. Oh my God, what a mind I'm telling you. All I'm going to say is this. I am not here to play games. I lay it on the table what I want, and I mean what I say, and I'm looking to have the next 50 years of enjoying life, and I'm not going to muck around. So if you don't like what you hear, or if you don't like what I bring to the table, then I'm not the one. That's how it works. People just start to be honest with each other. Like, we don't need to play these silly games. Let's face it, we're over 40. I'm 47 now. Like, I just want to go and enjoy the next 50 years with someone and live life, because that's what it's about.
Now, it's a little optimistic, first off, to be 47 and think that you still have 50 years to live. But regardless of that, I think men are pretty clear and honest about what they want. And we've made it pretty clear that we don't want to date women in their 40s. We don't want to date single mothers. We don't want to date women who get divorced and then jump on dating back again and want to get married again to then divorce again. We don't want that. And we definitely don't want women who in their 20s have messed around with Chad and Tyrone, who have gone to a lot of parties and clubs and who have had their Gil summers and, you know, who ride the carousel. So then at 40 say, I know what I want, I don't want to play the games anymore, etc. What is the reason that you are 40 and you are single? Did you leave your husband? Did you have a lot of fun, quote unquote, with a lot of guys, and now you want someone to pick up the pieces? What is the reason? Because men are not willing to pay full price for a used car. men are not willing to play from another man's safe file, and men are not willing to build up some ruins that you have destroyed.
Online dating in your 40s is fun. It's definitely never a dull moment. So whenever I have the time to sit down and scroll a little, I find occasionally a profile is just too good to keep to myself. So we have Patrick. He's only a couple years older than me. So I'm scrolling down to look at his profile. So you scroll down, and he's just talking about how he's kind of a homebody, which is fine. Don't really go out anywhere, but loves taking road trips. Okay. Enjoys fast cars, motorcycles, and also sitting on my ass for hours watching my shows or playing video games. Okay. All right. Hey, I commend you for being honest and putting it out there. And I think everybody dislikes open mouth chewing, but I don't know. It's probably, that one's okay. And we'll get along if you have a sense of humor and as dark and twisted as mine. That's what he's saying. Which makes more sense with the picture that accompanies it. Like, why? Why would you post that on your dating profile? Then we...
Because it's funny, right? Because men are honest. I mean, usually men's pictures are just of themselves, you know? It's not like women do where they put a lot of, you know, effects and filters and a ton of makeup, just turning into a whole different person that they're not. So this is why when usually women and men date, the woman is not usually the one that is surprised.
We get the quickest way to my heart is boobs. And also kitties, intelligence, an effed up sense of humor, shared interest and passions that, yeah, definitely boobs.
What a king.
Seriously. While I chew with my mouth closed and do love road trips, and I'm kind of a homebody, and I have boobs, I will not be swiping right on Patrick. No.
Now, guys, here's the thing. Patrick may not be the most beautiful human being on earth. He is a single father. But the thing is, even though Patrick may not be the most attractive one, he has other things going on for him. He has a good sense of humor. He seems like a good guy. He seems like a guy who is chill to be around. So, you know, ask for me. I would much rather drink coffee with Patrick than with most women nowadays on dating apps. Because most women on dating apps are also single mothers, yet they come with a lot of entitlement, narcissism, high standards, and Patrick, he just wants to have a good time, you know. He just wants a person in his life to accompany him through his road trips and through his different life situations. His standards are normal, he's down to earth, and yes, he's not the Prince Charming you're looking for, but you're gonna have a good life with him. Now, can he say the same about you? Are you going to improve Patrick's life or downgrade it? Because I think it's the latter. You know, you can make fun of Patrick all you want, but he knows what he wants, and he's achieved some things for him. Meanwhile, most women on dating apps nowadays, especially after 40, but throughout all ages, are just bad company. They are entitled, they will ruin your day, they will be nagging you about a lot of things, their standards will be incredibly high, you will never meet them, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much of a simp you become, you'll never meet them. And they'll just be like a thorn in your life.
But every time I'm on one of these trips, the question always comes up is, where are the men? Why aren't they traveling? Why, guys? I mean, guys will go to see the Super Bowl. They'll go to a playoff game. They'll go to Vegas for boxing. But they're not going to see the pyramids. They're not going on balloon rides in Cappadocia. They're not on ATVs in the desert of Egypt. Why is that? Why?
Because we have jobs and we're grinding and we don't have time to be on ATVs in the desert.
Are you guys not seeing the world and doing adventurous things? Why are you sitting at home on the sofa with a beer when I am in Singapore having an old-fashioned at a beautiful bar? There's so many black travel groups out there. Black Travel Movement that's led by Reggie Cummings. And the one that I'm now affiliated with that I love, thank you, Craig Henry, for making me a travel leader, the Travel Junkies. Go to amazing places. And every time we do these group trips, there's 2 to 3 guys and 15 to 20 women. So if you are a single guy and you're looking for a successful single woman, join a travel group. I can tell you that's where we are. Come on. Why aren't you doing it?
Why aren't you doing it? Now, this woman is trying to sweep under the rug the fact that she's 40 and single, right? I mean, she's talking, I can't meet guys, they're not around the trips I used to visit. But we casually don't mention the fact that you've had more than 20 years to be married to someone and travel with him, right? I mean, you could do that instead of trying to meet someone on a road trip. You could just, have married someone or have a long-lasting relationship and travel along with him. But no, that, we don't talk about that. Because here's the thing, guys. I feel no sympathy for these women. They will say that there are no good men left. There are no gentlemen. Men, just sitting on the sofas, drinking beer. They all mediocre. But the fact is, when you were in your 20s, you had plenty of options of many men, all different shapes and sizes, all with different interests. And back then, what were you doing? Were you messing around, riding the carousel? She said, I am a successful woman. Well, you've invested probably 20 years of your adult life in your business, and you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to have a business, and you want to be married and have a stable, healthy relationship. You can't have both. Or you can, but it's difficult, and you have to prioritize. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You're not entitled to a man just by the fact that you exist. You can be successful, you can earn as much money as you want. That doesn't entitle you to a man, because men, we don't care about your degree. We don't care about how much money you make. We don't want money. We already can make money, And we'll end the video with this TikTok right here of a lady, and I use lady in the full meaning of the word, that has planned ahead and is actually a decent human and a rational human. So let's watch the TikTok and then we'll see the response.
Everyone's like, you're 24, you're so young, you have a whole life ahead of you, you have all the time in the world to find a guy. I've had this conversation with so many people. I'm on a biological clock. I want to have a kid by the time I'm like early 30s. So I have to be married by 29, 30. That means I need to get engaged by 27, 28. And I want to have lived with my boyfriend for at the very least a year before that. So say 27, that's 26 years old. And I'll probably have to date someone for a year before I move in with them to make sure that they're not a serial killer. So that's 25. And if I want to date someone at 25, I need to start talking to someone at now.
All right, now I don't know if this is a sketch or something, but let's take it for what it is. This woman, rational human being, thinks about life in the way it is. Now let's hear the TikTok responses. This is the definition of overthinking. What, you mean planning ahead, planning for your own life? That is the definition of overthinking. It's how it works. Another comment, I just want to share one advice. Life doesn't work that way. Yeah, let's play the victim. Let's get rid of all accountability. I'm not going to focus on my marriage or on having kids, on finding a partner, on finding a good job, because life doesn't work that way. No matter what you do, life, just doesn't work that way. So just be an NPC. Don't work for anything. Don't plan ahead. Just, be like a leaf taken by the river. Just don't plan ahead, because, hey, life doesn't work that way. Another comment. Girl, my friends and I did the same mental calcs and stressing when we were 23, and it got us nowhere. Life doesn't work on plans, said the single lady who clearly wasn't the perpetrator of her own destiny. Just life didn't want it to be that way. We have another comment of a simp here. Be careful of focusing too much on the destination that you completely miss the journey. And this is the problem with modern society, with womanism, and with a lot of women's perception, and also some guys apparently. that it's not about the destination. It's not about reaching the point where you have a family, you have a loving husband, you have kids that grow healthy and have a good life. That's the less important thing. The most important thing is the journey, you know, how you feel about the journey. And this is the mentality that a lot of women assume, that, you know, I'm going to have my fun right now. I'm going to get the most attention and validation possible. I'm going to post half-naked pictures on Instagram to get a lot of likes. I'm going to sleep with a lot of men to get a lot of validation. I'm just going to go and have fun, have girl summers, have, you know, all these whimsical things. And then they expect that by age 40, as many women that we've covered, they're going to magically bump into that right person. They, you know, they're just going to open the door, and right there is going to be standing Chad, you know, 6 feet tall, 6-digit salary, but also with a lot of time to travel to Egypt. You know, it doesn't work like that. And we have this woman here that maybe it's just irony, maybe it's just a funny sketch, but I like what she said. You have to plan ahead. If you want to have kids by 30, well, you can't have kids with someone who you just met 6 months ago. That's not the recipe for a healthy marriage. You have to know him before that. And in order to know him, well, you probably must have lived together for a couple of months at least. And in order to do that, you must first know him for more than 1 week. And in order to do that, you have to, you know, have gone to a date with him, spoken about your shared interest, you know, getting to know him. Having a successful marriage is not something that happens from one day to another. It requires planning. It requires a multi-step plan of what you're going to do. And this is something that women don't like to think about, because we live in the era of instant gratification. We live in the era where we want to have everything immediately. And women fall victim to this more than men, because women, just by the fact of being women, receive things for free and receive much more than men. Men have learned that in order to achieve something, they have to work for it. So take dating, for example. In order for a man to be successful, he has to be handsome. He has to go to the gym. He has to have things going on for him. He has to have money. It's a lot of things that guys have to work towards in order to be successful. Women, on the other hand, they just have to not be fat and be decently attractive. That's it. Nothing more. They don't have to work for that. You know, taking a shower, I won't consider that working. So women live in this era of instant gratification, and they think that they deserve everything. This is what they mean when they say, life, you know, the universe has plans for me, or, you know, the karma, the, you know, zodiac signs, etc. I deserve, God has someone for me. No, you have to work towards the person. And we have all these ladies and some simps in the comments saying, well, life doesn't work that way. No, that's exactly how life works. You have to plan ahead. Now, it doesn't always go as planned, but you have more chances of succeeding when trying, rather than just saying, life doesn't work that way. So I'm going to be community property. I'm going to get, you know, pumped by 100 men, and I'm going to have my fun. And then, you know, because I deserve it, Prince Charming will magically pop when I'm 40. And then we have, you know, the previous 4 TikToks that we've covered of women who are either incredibly confused that they're single, or who don't understand why men are not going to the same trips as they are, or just incredibly entitled, mocking guys on dating apps, etc. But we'll end the video on that note, gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if it entertained you, and I'll be happy to see you next time, guys. Have a good one.